President Trump vowing more military action in Afghanistan, breaking a presidential promise. Trump making the announcement last night at Fort Myer Air Base in Virginia. U.S. will now expand its presence in Afghanistan, but the president stopping short of explaining just how that will happen. Kristen Holmes in Washington this morning with reaction. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning, Kevin.
Tell us a little bit about the details. Let's keep in mind that prior to even being candidate Trump, he tweeted about getting out of Afghanistan. He made the promise in the campaign trail. That's it. We are done. Here we go, adding more troops.
That's exactly right. Now, I do want to just read you one tweet. The president just tweeted about the speech last night, saying, "Was with great people last night in Fort Myer, Virginia. The future of our country is strong." But as you noted, Kevin, the details of how our country is strong still remain kind of up in the air. Last night, President Trump addressing the nation in his first national security speech since taking office, he said that the U.S. would fight to win in Afghanistan, but provided very few details. He said there was no real timetable. He didn't give a timetable of when we would exit, when we would go in, send more troops in. And again, he indicated, as you mentioned, that they would send more troops in, but said no numbers, gave no numbers at all, using an old campaign line that he had said multiple times when running for office, that he wasn't going to give away his strategy because he didn't want the enemies to have it. But of course, this is going to raise a lot of questions. This is a 16-year-long war. This is the longest war in U.S. history, and people want answers. Now, we just heard from Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, on CNN, and she said that this is different from the Obama administration's strategy because it's going to focus on results. That in the past, the Obama administration had used these artificial timetables that were not able to be met in Afghanistan, but now they were going to use this results-based, condition-based situation that they would see what happened and then move forward from there in Afghanistan. But again, a lot of questions on what does that look like? Who is reporting back? What exactly are the conditions that make a safe place for people to pull troops out? How many troops are going in? These are people's lives that are at stake here.
Now, the big question today is, where's the conversation going to go? Are we going to be talking about Afghanistan today in the news cycle, or are we going to continue talking about Charlottesville, or are we going to be talking about the rally tonight in Arizona? And I know which way the White House wants to go, but which way do you think the conversation is going to go today?
Well, Kevin, it all depends on what happens with the president, what he tweets, what he says, and he will dictate the news cycle. Of course, right now we are focused on this new plan in Afghanistan. What does it mean? But Charlottesville is still not too far in the distant past. Last night, he used the speech to start off talking about unity in the country. Now, this was very clearly an obvious attempt to kind of change the narrative. He had been getting so much pushback from his initial reaction to Charlottesville, and then again, his Tuesday reaction during that press conference to the events in Charlottesville. So last night he came forward, said something very different. He was very strong on unity. He denounced bigotry. He said that it was important that if we were going to bring these troops home, that they should be coming home to a unified country. So the message really is up to him. I think a lot of people are going to be watching to see what he says during that rally tonight.
All right, Kristen, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm not going to get you to try and predict what the president will do today. Kristen Holmes talking to us from Washington this morning. Thank you very much for this.